Good day, my friends. This morning I began reading the book of Daniel. And in chapter number 1, of course, it's kind of an introduction, introducing who Daniel is. Here he is, a young man taken into a foreign country. He is a very intelligent young man, but he was probably made a eunuch. He never married, no doubt, and he served the king. And so it was kind of an introduction. But the second chapter, of course, is his first test. The first big test is that the King Nebuchadnezzar, had a dream, and he's wanting all the wise men to tell him what the dream is and then interpret it. Now, it's one thing to try to interpret a dream that somebody tells you, but it's another thing if the individual says, "Tell me what I dreamed." Can you imagine that? We all have had dreams, and can you imagine asking someone to just tell me what I dreamed tonight? Well, that was a very unusual request, and of course, all the other wise men and they understood that, and they were like, "Hey, no God of flesh could do this." So anyway, he was going to kill all the wise men, and Daniel, of course, stepped forward. He said, "Give me some time," and the Lord revealed to him the dream. And also revealed the interpretation of the dream. And of course, the king lifted him up and put him in position. Now, I'm coming back to this because it's something important that I want to bring out today, a nugget. But then chapter number 3, we have 3 of Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And this is a test for them. And they are supposed to bow down to a big, tall God that Nebuchadnezzar has made and statue and worship when they hear the music and so on. But they refuse, and they are actually thrown into a fiery furnace, and they are not burned, of course. And so this impressed the king very much. So now, on the tail end of both of these stories, there's something I want to bring out. First of all, at the end of Daniel's telling the king and the dream and the interpretation of the dream, in chapter number 2, it says this. The king said, in verse 47, the king answered and said to Daniel, "Truly your God is God of gods and Lord of kings and a revealer of mysteries, for you have been able to reveal this mystery." Then at the end of chapter 3, we see that the king is addressing Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And it says here in verse number 28, I want to begin reading. Nebuchadnezzar answered, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him and set aside the king's command and yielded up their bodies rather than serve and worship any God except their own God." Verse 29, "Therefore I make a decree, any people, nation, or language that speaks anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be torn limb from limb and their houses laid in ruins. For there is no other God who is able to rescue in this way." Now, here's my point today and my nugget, my friends. That God never, again, I've said this in the past, but he never does anything without a purpose. And usually, oftentimes, these stories that we find in the Bible, these great miracles that are done, is for the purpose of other people recognizing that God is the one true God. If you go back and look at the story of David and Goliath and some of the other major stories in the Bible, you will see that God always performs the miracle or does the great thing so that he will get the glory and people will recognize he is the one true God. And I want to encourage you, my friends, to recognize and understand that when God works through you or does something great for you, the purpose is that he wants you to be able to share that miracle, that financial miracle, that physical healing, the salvation. He wants you to be able to share the greatness of God so that other people can be encouraged. God bless you. I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.